He's got that 10-foot, 15-foot jumper, and if he's open like this every single time, he's going to make it. So
it's a beautiful shot, but yeah, you're right. They left him wide open on that one.
And I think the Steamers sort of running out of steam, not getting back on defense. That's going to hurt you, especially if you're playing with a team. As I said before, it's got some newcomers on there trying to get used to where everybody is supposed to be out on the court. Meanwhile, for the Razorsharks, you've got to be happy right now. A big lead, minute to go before halftime, and everything seems to be working offensively.
Rod Baker's got to be real happy with this performance.
So, Matt, what do you think about the calling basketball game?
It's not bad. Basketball, it's not my first sport. I'm more of a hockey guy, but I'm having fun with it, that's for sure. I like to hear my voice on the air.
Well, the one thing, let me tell you about, I'll tell you a short story. I have all the admiration for anybody who does play-by-play hockey. That is the toughest sport to follow I've ever seen.
You listen to Don Stevens on the air for the Amerks, and he never stops talking. It's just constant.
I mean, it is a tough, like, how do you follow that? I mean, you know, there's a stoppage of play, but not all the time.
Right, you can get 5-6 minutes of just action without a whistle.
How do you breathe in that game? Fun game to watch, fun game to call.
Razorsharks have a busy weekend coming up next week. 2 road games at Lake Michigan, at Dayton, and then home against Dayton. Excuse me.
The Air Strikers, one of the teams in the Premier Basketball League that's done something that not too many have been able to do. Come into the Blue Cross Arena. They did it last year for the first time and beat the Razorsharks. There's only a handful of teams in the 7 years they've been around that's been able to do that.
Of course, the Gunners did it this year. And I do remember 5 or 6 years ago, there was a team, Niagara.
Yep.
And they came in, they beat the Razorsharks, and then the next day they folded.
One and done.
Right.
one and done.
At least the Gunners, I think, lasted another week after they beat us.
That's one way to look at it.
Chris Commons is going to go to the line here. 43 seconds remaining in the first half.
And Commons, one of the leading scorers for the Steamers, just has not been able to find room to get his shot off. Very dangerous when these two teams met last time, but just can't get it going offensively. Now that is Robinson, and it's been paint play and, you know, ball distribution, fast breaks for the Steamers this afternoon that has led to their points. Commons' first free throw is good. And you can see here as to what happened that led to Chris Commons getting on the court as McCoy with the left hand, you may not have seen it there on the replay, but with the left hand kept that arm down. And that's what Chris Commons said to the ref when he walked over to him and said, it's a foul and it should have been flagrant because he pulled my arm all the way down.
Sharks back with the ball. Davis up to Melvin Council. Sharks got 10 on the shot clock here. They're going to look to use as much time as they can. Council, top of the key, into McCoy. 5 on the shot clock. McCoy looking to shoot for the 3, and just misses off the front of the rebound. But the Sharks do get the rebound. Back, no, and that 3 is good by Johnny Mahan. 13 seconds to go here in the first half, and it's back to a 20-point lead for the Razorsharks.
My Steamers have got to feel deflated here after cutting the lead down a little bit, getting that offense going, only to see the Rochester Razorsharks come back.
Almost stolen away by the Sharks, and the shot by Simpson is no good, and that's going to do it for the half.
So the Rochester Razorsharks will go into the half with a lead of 20 points, 57-37, and we will get Tony Scott to talk with Aaron Williams about the first half play for the Rochester Razorsharks. Take it away, Tony.
You have Tony Scott here live with the Rochester Razorsharks PBL national televised game. We have Aaron Williams here, who had a great first half. Aaron, you had an opportunity to be infused into the starting lineup. You had a great first quarter, and you finished up the first half strong. What do you attribute that to?
A lot of hustle, man. Hustle plays, hustle rebounds, and hustle points.
I tell people all the time that you have such great upside. I noticed early in the season that you were a little prone to picking up early fouls, and with the long layoff, were you able to really work on getting some good, solid defensive positions to guard against that?
To me, it was all about my focus. My focus wasn't completely there. I'm trying to get it there right now, so I'm doing my best right now. Fix everything.
Okay. Now I know you got to hustle up to the back, but to guard against when you have a 20-point lead going into halftime, what is it that you guys need to do to maintain your focus coming out in the second half to assure that you don't let a lead like that dissipate?
You got to play like the beginning of the game, like the score is 0-0, and go hard from there.
All right, thanks a lot, Aaron. All right, now you heard it here live with the Rochester Razorsharks, Aaron Williams. He says to maintain the focus coming out on the focus is going to be to make sure that they can sustain the lead that they earned thus far in the first half. At this time, we'll be going right back to my partner, Tyree.
Rochester Razorsharks with a 20-point lead, 57-37. Coming up next, of course, Boris Toriak from the Rochester Razorsharks on game day preparation. You're watching the Rochester Razorsharks Broadcast Network. Halftime here at the Blue Cross Arena. Rochester Razorsharks with a 20-point lead, 57-37 over Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Steamers, of course, joining us now is the president of the Rochester Razorsharks, Oris Cherniak. Hey, Oris, how's it going today?
Hi, Tariq. Thank you very much. It's going very well. Thank you very much.
Well, it's good to have you here. What does it take to put together such a great game day plan? I mean, you have large fans every single time we play here at the Blue Cross Arena. Where does your day start when it comes to a home game?
Well, first of all, we have a nice, huge organization, a staff that is dedicated day in and day out. They go far beyond what we expect them to do. Everybody between the Blue Cross Arena people, the crew here, the TV production guys like John Catalano back in the booth there. Thanks, John and his crew. The TV production alone takes days to put together with the graphics that you see on the screen. The graphics that you see on the scoreboard, that gets done days in advance. Now, for the fans, what we do is try to integrate every timeout with them, with our sponsors, and everybody in the organization. We have a responsibility assigned to them. For instance, the Source, we have a giveaway with gold and stuff. That takes days and days of planning. What we start is what we call a game day script. It's a timeline. So every time there's a media timeout or halftime or in between quarters, there's something entertaining going on inside the arena. Our staff, which is, I can't explain how great they are, and they're a big staff, along with our interns. I should say our interns help us out a lot. we develop a game day